So this guy, Ali Zateri, he made a series of tweets talking about Ozempic, and I'm going to go through each and every slide and tell you if it is true, false, or misleading. So he started off his little rant saying, Ozempic is not a miracle, it's $1 trillion trap. You didn't lose the weight, you lost muscle, hormones, insanity. Wall Street made $100 billion, you got addicted, and here's the dark truth. This is full of misleading information and is partially false. I did the research, I took the notes, let's go. So yes, you do lose some muscle mass on a GLP-1 medication, but it is the same way that you lose muscle mass on any weight loss journey. Clinical trials only show roughly 25 to 40% of weight loss is lean body mass, which is normal during weight reduction and is mitigated by sufficient protein and resistance training. Just like me, I actually gained lean body mass during my weight loss journey because I went to the gym. They do not inherently destroy your hormones. GLP-1s actually improve key hormones involved in the metabolic syndrome or metabolic process. They are not addictive. Semaglutide does not alter your dopamine reward pathways the way addictive substances do. There's zero evidence of dependency. And the claim that it is a $1 trillion trap and that Wall Street made $100 billion, yeah, sure, they made money, but this is pure hyperbole because there is no factual basis for the fact that it is a $1 trillion trap. He then goes on to say, in 2020, Ozempic was a diabetes drug. In 2023, it became a miracle weight loss shot. By 2025, millions were hooked, and no one was asking what it's doing to their brain, liver, or gut. So the only part of all of this that he actually got true was that, yes, Ozempic did start off as a diabetes drug, and Wegovy, which came out after, was FDA approved for obesity. And as we know, Ozempic and Wegovy are the same medication. And yes, the use did sharply increase after 2023. But there was a lot of things that he said false here. There's actually no evidence of brain damage. There's no evidence of liver damage. It actually shows improvement in people with fatty liver and NAFLD. And there's actually no evidence of gut damage in normal therapeutic use. So if you don't abuse the medication, you're not gonna have problems. Slide 3, Ozempic's real name, semaglutide, a synthetic GLP-1 hormone that fakes fullness in your brain. You stop eating, you shrink, but it comes at a brutal cost. He did say something a little bit true here. Semaglutide does signal satiety, which is actually how it works. It also slows your gastric emptying temporarily, not permanently. He said that the brutal cost, that was extremely dramatized. Serious adverse reactions that are possible but rare, and I think that he needed to include that, typically appear in people who are misusing the medication, taking doses too high, too fast, and they're not screened properly or being transparent with their medical provider about their contraindications. Also, I don't know about any of you guys, but like I didn't stop eating on a GLP-1 medication. And the last slide I'm gonna do in this part, he says, what Ozempic actually does, it paralyzes your stomach, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, muscle wasting, depression and brain fog, hormonal chaos, and in some cases, suicidal thoughts, anal leakage, possible eye rotting disease, intestinal paralysis, death. Worth it? Well, yeah, it is worth it because all of this is bullshit. So, it is true that GLP-1s cause stomach slowing or gastric emptying delay. That is actually how the medication works. However, true gastroparesis is extremely rare and often reversible after stopping the medication. Nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea is true, but guess what? Most mainstream medications cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Now, muscle wasting, that's misleading because lean mass loss is part of weight loss and is not drug specific. Depression and brain fog, the data shows that GLP-1s often improve mood due to improved inflammation and insulin sensitivity. Depression is not a documented and known side effect. And some people actually report fatigue and brain fog early on due to their new reduced calorie intake, not brain damage. The hormonal chaos. Okay, as a GLP-1 girly with PCOS, the only thing that chaotic that has happened is the fact that my hormones have actually regulated themselves since being on a GLP-1. But yes, that is completely false. GLP-1 medications improve insulin resistance, inflammation, metabolic hormones, and menstrual regularity in PCOS, and that has been documented. And GLP-1s do not dysregulate your hormones. Suicidal thoughts. This was investigated in 2023 and 2024, and the FDA found no increased risk of suicidal ideation. Anal leakage, no evidence. Eye rotting disease, no legitimate documented condition like this related to GLP-1s. There has not been anybody who has come forward properly taking a GLP-1 or even improperly taking a GLP-1 with eye rotting disease. Intestinal paralysis, this is fear bait. It's very rare of severe GI slowdowns, and is usually caused by improper dose escalation, dehydration, and pre-existing GI disorders, not true paralysis. And death, there's no evidence, and there has been no cases of someone who is properly taking a GLP-1 medication who has. The only person that I know of is the lady in Australia who was taking 2 GLP-1s at the same time, and so, you know, I'm going to be going through and debunking all of his slides, so stay tuned for part 2.